got a bit of a queue of questions here, so they'll probably be pretty frustrated. Make sure he's running 3 minutes late, guys. Apologies. But so yeah, on TikTok, the questions go so damn quick. But thanks, Caps. Thanks for the share, mate. But yeah, in terms of YouTube, we do go through every question one by one. So if you get your question in now, I might get to it. Well, I will get to it, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Yeah, so feel free to come along. Shorty SuperCoach on YouTube, same deal. Thanks, Riley. Thanks for the share. So yeah, feel free. I'll have a few videos later in the week as well. See if I can sneak off on camp and get a little video done, because we do have a bit to talk about this week. So thanks for the follow, Willow. Anyway, guys, we are going to roll over to YouTube now. So I'll see you there. Thanks, guys. Guys, what's going on? How are we? We're running a little late, all right? We're running a little late. My apologies. Let's go have a look, shall we? We'll have a lot of questions to go through, so I will endeavour to be snappy. But you guys know me. Sometimes that's difficult. But let's see how we go. All right, Max. I'm going Blackiston to Fonte for the cash grab. Blackiston plays one easy matchup in the next 5 games. Okay. Look, I have been in that feeling of backing in guys for at least the second week, like a Roberts or a Kircher, even a Windsor. But I understand, yeah, the cash grab there. I think that can be pretty helpful. But also want to get a bit of a poll going. Just got to remember how to do this, because I do want to know your thoughts on Naz. All right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's a little bit different without using StreamYard. Here we go. Naz. Trade or hold? Let me know. Reese, hey Shorty, how are you? I'm pretty good, thank you, mate. How are you? What options do you reckon for Goulden? Do we bring in Murdoch for Philippou? Bloke is made of glass. Yeah, look, for me, it's Sarong. Merritt's a strong consider. If you can afford to absorb a bit of a buy, you could look at Holmes. You could look at Callahan. I reckon he's really good. If you get your way up to Noah Anderson, also very good. Philippou, look, I'm finding it tricky with these rookies, right? Like, Murdoch did look really good, so I think I'd be more confident on Murdoch. I think he's definite grab. But someone like say Cook, he's just as likely to score 50 this week as he is 92. So I'm not 100%. I want to see a second game from these guys. I just think we need a bit more of a sample size from some of these dudes. Max, also good to see you, mate. Makes my day. When you go like, oh, mate, thanks, bro. Hey, that's really kind. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. And you'd be surprised. Those comments go a long way, mate, because I'll tell you what, it's been a busy day. Shorty had a shit sleep. Got camp tomorrow. Under the pump a bit. So it's nice to see that, it's nice that it makes a difference. I appreciate that. Thank you. Karen, evening all. I have done 3 rage trades to correct my stupidness. Oh, no, you'll have to let us know what they were. Jack, hey, mate, hope you're doing good. You too, mate. Thank you. What are your thoughts on Goulden and Toby Murray for Marshall and Sarong? Well, the word I'm hearing is that Marshall's fine. So Marshall's a hold for me. Even if he misses 1 week, it's a hold for me. But I do like Goulden to Sarong. I think that's a play. Anthony Penderley's playing next week. The game is back. Yeah. Look, I think he was always a red-hot chance to get off with the old good behaviour. Bloke hasn't done anything wrong for 427 games, has he? So good to see. G Money, hey, mate. Sorry, haven't messaged much, but still been watching on your vids. Appreciate it, mate. Just letting you know it's you versus me in Shorty SuperCoach 3. Bring your A game. All right, okay, let's go. I like when you guys let me know, because sometimes it's hard to be all over the matchups. But I appreciate it, mate. Glad you've still been watching the videos. Always good to see you pop up in the comments or on the live. Jack, also, why do you reckon on Parrish for Young and freeing up money for Houston? I like the Houston call. I just think I'm dying on the hill of not liking Parrish. Look, he scored 93, found a bit of the footy, used it not great sometimes, used it well sometimes. He hit some nice kicks that surprised me. So I prefer Hayden Young to Parrish. But yes, if the difference is going to be making that money and what it can do for you, then fair enough. But Hayden Young, I still think has plenty to offer. Yeah, he scored 80. He also didn't touch the footy in the last quarter. So plenty of scope for him. Freddie, g'day, Shorty. Hope you're having a good one. I'm ranked 3,685. Had a good week. Doesn't seem like the same for you. Thoughts on not trading this as long as Marshall and Filippo are not out for too long? Nice week by you, mate. Well played. My recollection or what I've been seeing is that both should be fine. They might not get up for this week, touch and go, but I think long-term ruled out. And I still think, look, Marshall had the score on the board, so he's a lock for mine. But I still liked what I saw from Filippo. Look, the role was there. Yeah, he was not at his best ball use-wise, and he's still young, but I'm backing him in. Freddie, just looked up an injury report. Filippo a test and Marshall not perfect, mate. Look, that's perfect. And so the main thing I reckon we want to work out this week is not just this week, but look next week as well. How many rookies do you reckon you'll need? Like, do you need to make space for Cook or Murdoch? Or do you need to, hand off a McKercher or a Roberts? And make sure you're not left needing to do 4 trades next week. Like, it sounds simple, but I've seen people be like, I'll just see what they do and I'll see what that do. And then a couple of things bob up or an injury and you're like, I need to do like 4 trades and I've only got 2 in a trade boost. So go early on the ones you think you need to and deal what's in front of us with Goulden. That's definitely a lock of a trade. But yeah, make sure there's a bit of planning going in because we cannot afford to miss the rookies. They're what makes us cash. So we've got to make sure we got the good ones so we can upgrade our teams in 4, 6, 8 weeks. Mass, Shorty, Rule 13, never. I've really got to start screening your comments, mate. Should I trade Grundy? And if so, to who? Gorn, Cherry, Jackson, or someone else? Straight, simple answer for me, no. Don't trade him. He's a hold. Yes, the others went well, but what's to say that it's not in reverse next week? We saw Ed Richards go 144, then back to 90. These things happen. Grundy's a great option. Don't trade him out. Don't trade him out. Now, where are we at with Naz? 61% saying trade, 63% saying trade. Okay. I must admit I'm leaning towards that. And it goes against my rules. But I've also done pretty crap in SuperCoach for like 3 years. So maybe my rules suck. But I'm thinking Houston just sitting there. I don't mind it. G-Money, why do you make us wait, Daniel? This would never happen. That's sort of play, boys. I know, bro. Sure, he just gets talking on TikTok, guys. I'm sorry. Freddie, the guy that is on top of the ladder in my league, not so super, won 1 game last year and somehow is on top now. Look out. You got a little luck to win. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, bro. Hey, Talani, how are you? Joe Fonte, very interesting one here. I'm not sold on it. I can't help but feel like this is a bit of not a flash in the pan, but just a guy who's running hot, but will he keep it up? Did he take any kick-ins? Look, I didn't see the game on the weekend. Talk roll to me. What sort of role was he running with? Or is this just a guy that it's just turned out well for him the first couple of weeks? This can happen. Dill Stevens goes nuts. Doesn't mean we're jumping on Dill Stevens. I guess Fonte's done it twice. Or at least once. I think last week was just an 83, wasn't it? But so to answer your question, I'm not so keen. If he was 80, 100K cheaper, you might have me thinking. General edits, hold Blackiston. Yeah, for these guys, give them 2 weeks. That's my thoughts. Give them 2, see what they can do. We've researched and thought and discussed all preseason. Give them a second week. Baggers, hello, sir. Short, I have returned. Oh, wow. Hey, look out. Here we go. Baggers, look out, mate. Logan, I like Jackson Moore as a premium ruck, but should I give Grundy another week? Absolutely. Absolutely give him another week. Wouldn't shock me if he went 130 plus against Hawthorn. Corey, thoughts on Brayshaw for Goulden, and should I keep Coleman? Thoughts on Brayshaw for Goulden. Now, are we talking Andy? Because I definitely wouldn't do that because Brayshaw's going to drop a lot. Clarify if I've sort of misinterpreted, and Coleman I would trade. Jacob, Sam Draper to a faded Sheasel. Look, Sheasel's a must-have. Find a way to get him in. Sam Draper, not keen on. So, yeah, that'd be my 2 cents there. Mitch, hey, Shorty, you reckon Goulden to Sarong, Darcy Cameron down to Murdoch and play McAndrew R2? I like the first one. Darcy Cameron, what's he gone the first 2 weeks? I haven't really looked at his scores. McAndrew at R2 still makes me nervous. Cameron 107 and 86. I'm holding, mate. Look, I like your first trade. I think that's fair. I don't think we need to move on that one. Michael, short, I am considering bringing Houston and Malira. I love my sister. Jesus Christ. Houston, I like. Malira, no. Just a bit of a one out of the box there. Yeah, I'm good. How are you going? Tigers getting up this week or what? Leroy, hey, Shorty, what round do prices start going up? So just on the players' third game. So players that played in opening round, say Naz, he's about to move in price. Other guys that just played their first game last week, we still got a little bit of waiting to do. Yeah, no, I don't think a must-have, mate. Don't think a must-have. Look, he's an option because he does have a nice break even, but I personally am happy to go elsewhere. Dusty, got Goulden. Who do I trade for? Already got Sarong. Oh, nice. That's good. Look, you could go with Callahan. You could go with Zach Merritt. If you can absorb a bit of a buy, you could even look at Max Holmes. Like, I'm just sort of having a look at the guys now. Can you get yourself up to a Noah Anderson? Look, Ed Richards is there. Do like him as well. But, yeah, I think that there isn't really anyone beneath him that I like. Sam Walsh you could consider, but I don't particularly like it. But, yeah, there was really no one below him that grabbed me. So I'd be looking to try and, go up from him. What's going on, Jakey? What's happening? Hey, Shorty, I think I play you in SuperCoach this weekend. May the best win is your name, Shorty Superstars. No, I think my name's Shorty SuperCoach still, isn't it? It used to be Shorty Superstars. Oh, shit, it is too. There you go, bro. There you go. I swear to God I changed it. There you go. But, yeah, that is me. Logan, I like. Oh, yeah, we did answer that. Luke, hey, Shorty, hope you're well. You too, mate. Thanks for that. I currently have Blackiston and Filippo to Cook and Murdoch, 223 in the bank. Should I use a boost to sell Colby? I also have Marshall, but rumors are he plays. Yeah, I'm hearing he plays. No trade boost. Look, sometimes we desperately need the trade boost. I don't think McKercher is warranting a trade boost. Just give him another week, see how he goes. But, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use a boost for that. Will Ashcroft, I would hold him. Look, he's awkwardly priced, and we really would have expected more without McCluggage, but that was weird. Don't know what happened there, or a roll change, but not sure why we went black there for a bit. That's all right. Jack, really like Fonte for a quick cash grab too. Yeah, look, he'll definitely be a bit of a cash grab, probably get you pretty comfortable 100K. Let me just grab his stats. So he has gone 119 and 83, break even and minus 33. The only thing I would say is if he comes out and scores 70 this week, there's not a huge boost coming from there. You really need him to continue on and go reasonably well with some 90 pluses. So I feel it's risky. I feel like there's a chance that Fonte doesn't even hit 400K or just. So look, if you want 100K, fair. But yeah, I'm probably going elsewhere. Should I trade Colby or Lockie? Give him a couple of weeks. Give him a second chance. If I was going to trade one, I would trade Colby because his role was way different to what we thought. It looked terrible. Where at least Blackiston, you know the role is there. Baggers, I have started well, top 4 or 6%. I'm pissing Archie Roberts off and getting Miller and Fonte for Blackiston. Yes, reactionary, but needed. Fair enough. Look, the thing with Fonte, like I can half understand, the fact that he's at that nice price, but where's Miller at? Like that seems, I looked at it before, like Miller at 429, that's crazy to go with him. Yeah, he scored 142. This is a bloke who's 28 and his averages have been 79, 74, 83, 58, 77, 80 or 67 and 79. Like he hasn't been a rebounder in his life. Like I know he's classy and all that and he looked great, but I do not see any reason to trade him in. Suppose he had 7 kick-ins, which is pretty handy. And look, maybe was Max Keane taking a lot of these? So maybe he's taken that kick-in role off Max Keane. But, geez, I can't see him producing that sort of stuff all too often. Like I can't trust him at all. If he was priced cheaper, yeah, absolutely. But not for me at that price, not at 420. Because at 420, you're really saying this guy's going to be in my team for a period of time. Like you're not bringing him in to make you 50K. Like, okay, if he goes up to 520, fantastic. But that's not a trade for cash. That's a trade for points. And I can't trust Miller on the points. Graz, Shorty, how are you, mate? Good, thank you, man. How are you? I got 2,351 this week. Should have got about 60 more, but didn't realise Sharp's 57 would be the emergency score that counts over Goulden's 113. I was looping Sarong's 150. All right. Okay, the old loops got him. Oh, mate. That's all right. Still a pretty handy score. Driz, so thoughts, Blackstone, Langford for Bont and Murdoch, but I'm bringing in Callahan instead of the Bont. Yeah, look, I probably prefer Callahan. Look, Bont is on fire. I still think there will be a time that we can get him probably around 650, a bit cheaper, but hopefully low 600s maybe. But yeah, I don't mind that. Like I've said, I would give these guys 2 weeks, but a lot of people moving on them. Fair enough. Daniel, hey, mate, hope you're well. You too, mate. Thanks for checking in. Tell me what your thoughts are on these trades. I didn't want to trade, but this run has me thinking he'll make great cash. I know it's a stuff around, but here they are. All right, let's see if we can. I don't know where the second comment is, mate. I can't see it. Here it is. Out Sharp, Edwards, Philippo, in Fonte, Murdoch, Blamiers. It's a little weird. I don't need to trade anyone, but the cash and the run from Fonte I don't want to miss. Really sharp, and really Sharp's time on ground is a worry. Look, I totally get, Sharp and that. I feel like Philippo, if he's right this week, I'm writing it out. I really do feel like I think Philippo will get to 350K. I'm pretty keen on that. Some good rookies coming in, mate. I like that. As I've said, I don't particularly see the Fonte call, but a few people are going with it. So Leroy Butters about to bounce back and score 170. Yeah, I think it could be on. I'm thinking maybe Tim English into Butters. I like your thinking there, mate. Jakey, go the quiz tonight. No quiz tonight, mate. Look, I do apologise, my friend. I was getting back to I had to do the preview video. I had to get back to all these comments. And I've got camp again this week. So I'm just – the Tuesday lives, it just doesn't give Shorty enough buffer. But I did think of it last night, and I was like, look, I just didn't get it done. So I apologise. But I will have the quizzes back. What's up, Dusty? Freddie, got you up on the big screen. I love it, bro. Thank you, mate. I hope you guys are going well. My favourite show is on Leroy. Good man. Hey, appreciate the love, guys. Thanks very much. Graz, thoughts on Kitty Coleman and Goulden to Fonte and Parrish? I'll have 230K left. Look, good outs. I think Coleman needs to go. You guys know my thoughts on Parrish. But to be fair, he scored 90. Fair enough. if those are your cup of tea, they're not ins that I would go with, but look, bit mid-pricey for mine. Don't know about Fonte. I don't know. Look, to be fair, I don't know stacks about his background, but surely he can't keep this up. 119 was fantastic, took a lot of marks, played really well. I don't know if he can keep this up. Can he get beyond 420? I don't know. And surely we need at least 100K. Talani, who do you think will win against Tigers and the Suns? Oh, look, you got to go with the Suns. I know you love your Teagues, mate, but we got to go with the Suns, unfortunately. They're looking dynamite. And look, thanks for your patience, guys. We are going through these questions one by one, so we're only up to 7:51, so we are behind. But yeah, different to TikTok. You may have to wait 15, 20, 30 minutes for your question potentially. So chuck the kettle on, mate. Get a Milo going or something. But it's just the fairest way to do it. We do this on YouTube. TikTok's just whatever I see first. So I appreciate your patience, but it does take a little bit longer. Vegas, how good is Essendon? I love Brad Scott. Oh, no. Jeez. Painful watch, the Bombers. I went. It was a painful watch. Scott, great to be back in 2026. Love you, shorty. Thanks, mate. Good to see you. Scored 2,436 with Kirch. Loving the Merv Hughes mustache. Yeah, bro. I looked at me. We had new school photos, and I looked at my old one. I was like, oh, the mustache is actually coming down. A bit more Merv Hughes style, mate. So thanks, bro. Shannon Neal. Nah, Shannon Neal's a no from me, mate. Look, I don't even know what he's priced at, but it's definitely not a play. I would be going elsewhere, mate. BJD, thoughts on Parrish and who do I move him on to? Well, look, if you had Parrish, you're definitely keeping him. He was pretty solid, but you guys know my thoughts on Parrish. I wouldn't be rushing around to get him in. And what do we got here? Sharp, 149. Murdoch gets him 50K. I think that'll be a pretty popular move. I think that's a fair call. Bit of extra cash is handy. Styles ended up starting with Josh Dacos. Thoughts on the role with Houston playing well? Look, I thought the role was all right. A bit of a mix of half-back and sort of midfield. I'd really like to get you guys' thoughts on Houston. I feel like Houston is looking really, really good, and Josh Dacos moving up the field has been helpful. Then some people sort of being worried about Moore coming back or Jeremy Howe. I can't see that affecting him. Wow, look at Naz. That ended up at 52 to 48%. And that didn't help me at all. Jesus, man. Oh, all right. Let's do another poll. All right, give me your thoughts on there. Logan, I want to get Fonte, but the price gap is 200K and I have about 90K right now. Should I downgrade from Carroll to Murdoch to afford Blackiston to Fonte? No, I wouldn't be going out of my way to do that. Look, I actually think Carroll's looked okay. I know he hasn't scored amazing, but I can see him being like a slow burn, but occasionally just getting an 80. Like I felt like Carroll's been going okay. So no, I wouldn't be moving that many pieces just to get him Fonte. Jakesy got Goulden, but no money in the bank. Who should I trade for? Wouldn't mind seeing Murdoch once more before getting him in. I think that's a fair call. I'm the same. Like I'm not bringing either of the rookies in this week, say like Cook and Murdoch, just because I want to see a second week. Because you can bring him in and they score 35. You're like, damn it. Now, geez, why do I do that? And look, they could be fine over the long run, even if you get him in this week. But if you've got no cash to work with, it's probably Sam Walsh, or maybe it's Dan Houston via a bit of DPP. Like, so for me, I could go like, some people might have Grill in that back line. You could chuck Grill into the midfield and then use Houston down back. That depends on your dual position, but that might be one to have a think of as well. Leroy, do I go Whitfield to Ash? I think it might be his year. No, definitely not. Hopefully you have both of them at some stage, but hold Whitfield. No need to panic on Whitfield. Scott Marshall expected to play via AFL app. We like that, mate. We like that. I would have been furious if we lost Gordon, Phillippo, and Marshall. I maintain that I reckon Phillippo is going to be a good little cash cow for us. I'm backing him in. Might be a slow burn. Might have to play a bit of footy to get rid of that 27. But I'm backing him in. The role's there. The role is there. Freddie, not sold on Murdoch. Want to see one more game? Yeah, fair. I'm the same. Oh, yeah, that was the one we got to before. Bags, get Miller. Roll is stupid good. Heat Mac, elite kick-ins. And his bloody fish shop burger, mate. Really, though? Like, is it real? Look, he had a great game on the weekend, but is it really going to change that drastically at this time in his career? They've still got Rory Laird back there. Like, I'm not sold on it. I'm really not. I love your pitch, mate. I really do. And the kick-ins I'll wear. Like, look, I'll wear that, but it's the price for me. $420K. Like, what are you bringing him in for? Is he going to be in your team for the whole year? Because that ain't going to happen. And if you're not doing that, then he's a stepping stone to someone at a slightly better price. See, Houston, $430. History suggests he could genuinely be a keeper. I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it at all. I'll chuck him on my list to talk about if I get to do a YouTube short or something on camp, but I'm not sold. Logan, I want to get Fonty. Oh, yeah, we did that one. Look, mate, we're going to have to screen that, bro. Shorty can't be getting into trouble at work with some of this loose content, bro. Talani, that wasn't to you, by the way, Talani. Who do you think will win against the Tigers v Suns? Yes, I am going the Tigs. Sorry, mate. Logan, it's that similar question what I raised. Xavier, hey, Shorty, hope you're well. You too, mate. Appreciate it. Excited for the streams again this year. I have Cornelio, Roberts, and Phillippo. Wondering what I should do. Thinking to just hold and see what happens and maybe go to Houston. Yeah, I would definitely hold on Roberts. Just look, odds are you get rid of him, but just give it a second look. Phillippo, we hold. Cornelio, I could ditch on him. I'd probably trade Cornelio. He would be the one I'd move on. Phillippo is like Tinder, like the looks. Oh, Baggers is back. He's back. Logan, answer that one. Styles, do we hop on Murdoch for the cash gen? I'm happy to give it 1 week, but he'd be one that I'm probably more confident than Cook in terms of the scoring. But yeah, happy to just give it 2 weeks. I feel like sometimes we get a bit reactionary to just the 1 week. So I'm happy to give guys a second week, particularly the rookies. Octagon, I've got Sheldrick, probably a very questionable pick, but I'm ready for him to explode with the more midfield minutes and game time. Very confident in his game. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout, to be honest. Like, I do feel like he's going to be the biggest beneficiary from Gordon being out, so I don't mind that. Like, risky, but don't mind it. Xavier, Cogs has break even to 0 free money this week. Actually is. Let me just check a bit of surely someone picked up Sheldrick in our draft. Ho! Bro, Sheldrick is a free agent, my dudes. Let's go. Who am I going to get rid of, though? Sorry, this is just a little side quest for Shorty now, guys. Just a little side quest. Man, I can't believe he's just sitting there as a free agent, bro. That is a steal, my guys. Let's go. How are we going on the Houston poll? Jeez, we cannot split him tonight. Jeez, 54% back to his primo, then 46. Can't trust, mate. Oh, God. This is not helping Shorty make decisions. Hey, Shorty, thoughts on Fonty? What's going on, Magpies? Yeah, look, he's come up a bit. I'm not sold on it. I don't really know if we can trust his ability to keep this scoring going. He is looking good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's cheap enough. And even just a little thing like the 119 being his first score, they're just little things, but he'll only get one price rise for that. So his price will only that 119 only gets included for the price rise on his third game, where the second game, he'll get price rises from that in his third and fourth. So it's just the little things. But we're going to lose that 119 pretty quick. So I'm happy to pass. Big John, is Houston a must-have? Wouldn't put him as a must-have, mate, but he's a strong consider. I'm strongly considering him, and I think he's worth the punt at 430, but you don't have to get him in. There you go, Bags. Houston a must-have next week. Keep it under 460. Must get that one. Well, there you go. He's more confident than me. I'm pretty optimistic on Houston. Absolute locked in. Not sure, but I did like what we saw. Looked a bit more back to that Port Adelaide Houston that we've seen. Logan, should I drop Roberts down to Fonte and get Sarong in for Gordon to make some cash? I assume that is. I wouldn't be going Roberts to Fonte. If I'm trading a Roberts or a McKercher this week, I'm probably wanting to get a genuine premium. Maybe you can – look, that's probably good for your cash and all that. I don't know. I'm not sold on the Fonte pick. Kai, if I don't use my trades, will I have 4 next week? No. So you'll have your total trades, but your weekly trades, you can only use 2 per week plus a trade boost, which will give you 3. So it doesn't roll over like that. So you do want to plan out what you're going to have to do over the next 2 weeks to make sure that you can do everything, or at least have the scope to if you still want to. Lenny, hey, Shorty, should I hold Archie Roberts or trade? Yeah, look, I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but I'll give them a second week. Give these guys a second week just to be sure. We've seen players turn it around. It's unlikely. I didn't like the McKercher or Roberts role, so it's unlikely. But I feel like we put a lot of pre-season thoughts into them and research. Give them a second week. Baggers, hello, Shorty. Did your Shorty get... Oh, Jesus Christ. We can't be talking about that, guys. Come on, Shorty's. The students could be watching, guys. You know, Josh, Shorty, how's it going up the crime? Yeah, mate, they were good, weren't they? Off to a nice start. I'm going well too, mate. How are you, Luke? Hey, Shorty, how you going? Good, mates. How you traveling? Scored 2,380. Not bad, but I had Jakes on the bench and Grill. Good week though. Look, it's always hard to pick those rookies. Always hard, but that's a nice first up score. Not sure what that was in regards to. Luke, my pod that you could not guess was Houston. Very happy with him. Bit salty. Everyone's going to get him. Great pick, mate. Really well done. That's awesome. Yeah. You would be. You'd be like, God damn it. Why is everyone on him now? Which is one of my biggest frustrations with SuperCoach. I would almost start to think, can we have prices changing immediately? Because I just think that, look, I do like that. The 2-game buffer in a way, it is traditional, it is SuperCoach, but man, it makes teams look similar. Gosh, because like you've done the hard work, you've identified Houston, you've taken the risk, and what do you get? 2 good games and everyone just jumps on. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right, but we answered that one. Luca, 1 trade, Watkins to Murdoch. Happy with my round 1 score, 2,348. Nice one. Yeah, look, I think Watkins is probably one that, you could probably be more sure on to trade out in terms of rookies. Just didn't quite get the game time or the role. Magpies, thoughts on Filippo, Goulden, and Selwood to Sicily, Cook, and Fonte. Picked my team with 100K in the bank. Should I use to go Fonte from Selwood or keep and don't trade Selwood? No, I wouldn't trade him. I'll give him a chance. Look, he had a really nice first up week, bit quieter the next week. But I wouldn't be using cash like that to get a Fonte. Like I really feel like Fonte could be out of people's teams in a month. And I could be totally wrong as well. He could be this fantastic new age half backman at the Giants who averages 90. I could be wrong. But I don't see it. Check Fonte's fixture short. Those defenders go huge and his next 5 are juicy. Could be easy. 150K with good scores. Fair enough. Look, I'm not sure if Fonte's the guy to benefit from it, though. Like, I would feel like that's probably going to be more like a read on Ash and Whitfield. Like, is Fonte that much of a rebounder? Like, I don't know. Again, I didn't watch the game on the weekend, so I didn't see him closely. Flag Hawk, hey, Shorty. I have Archie Robertson. I'm thinking of trading him next week if he doesn't perform down at Bruin. as he'll be on the bubble and have the bye. Yeah, perfect, mate. Give him a second. Nice plan. If it doesn't work out, I like it. Kai, if I don't use much, oh yeah, we answered that one. Stuart Bond is a class. He's class. How can you not have him? Well, look, I suppose just with the buy, the huge price tag, I'm just waiting for that 90, maybe a 90, then 105, and he drops below 650 or something like that. But yeah, in the meantime, you're going to cop some pain. I guess you can't have them all, can you? You know, you can't have all the big dogs. Unfortunately, you know, I probably would have preferred to get some big dog scoring from a Dacos or a Butters already. We haven't quite got that. They've had solid scores, but not that big, like a 160. But hopefully it's not far off. In fact, I think Butters could go huge this weekend. Magpies can bring in Bont, which is great, but I can only do it if I have McAndrew on the ruck bench for a couple of weeks. Move with DPP. Thoughts? Yeah, I would probably do it. I think if you can get Bont in and you're comfortable with that, yeah, I probably would. Ideally, McAndrew's on the flex, but I wouldn't make that your decision to forego Bont. I think getting Bont's more of a priority, I reckon. Flagcock, I'm also holding Naz and possibly both Marshall as he's not injured. Yeah, and Philip. Yeah, perfect. No, I think that's a good call on the rookies. Naz, I just can't get a read on. I just don't know. I really am not quite sure. Yeah. My head says hold premiums, back him in. You'll want him in 6 weeks anyway. But just with Houston lurking there, something's like, no, look, get Houston. Get him in. But then I could do that with McKercher. I don't know. Leon, what are your thoughts on trading Oliver and getting in Luke Parker? Could be the Zeeble role. I like your thinking with the Zeeble role. Look, I'm not convinced on Parker. I think it's too risky, and he's just not that cheap. So I think getting rid of Oliver I like. But Parker, it's a bit of a risk at the price, I reckon. I know he scored really well, but he's priced at 476 as a mid as well. And look, he may get dual position. And look, if it's the Zeeble style role, hey, we're going to love that. But I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I wouldn't have the confidence to do it myself. Daniel, something is really telling me get Fonte in at least in at all costs, and I think I'm going to do it. I'm pretty strong on him. Think this may be a back your gut moment here. Talk me through it, Shorty. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm sort of looking at it, and I'm having a similar gut feeling with Naz, like trading him. So it's hard to go against. I generally would say back the gut, but I'm just not sure on Fonte. Like 298, I'm sort of comparing him to Sam Lawler. What are my expectations around Lawler? Probably the same scores Fonte is given. Perfect. Just, is it replicatable? Is this just a nice first couple of weeks, or is Fonte going to go 75, 72, 81? Maybe that's okay. Maybe just get a slow burn up to 420, 450. I don't know. But yeah, if you started with Fonte, like not that we ever would have, but like I've started with Lawler, happy to see where it goes. I don't know if I'd trade in a Lawler. Yeah, I don't know. Look, my gut says no, but I've been terrible at SuperCoach for 3 years. So, yeah, I don't know. Stuart Max Holmes at Cats has seriously been overlooked, 100%. Like, it's purely because of his buy. And if you want a bit of a pod replacement for Goulden, he could be the one. He could be the one for sure. And I know Holmes got the buy this week, but I think most of us have pretty good coverage on the buys this week with best 18. Logan, should I wait and see? Yeah. Wait and see. Give him a second. With the asterisks of make sure you don't have too many people you're waiting to give a second next week, because they all go bust and you need to make 4 or 5 trades, then you're cooked. So make sure you've got the balances in check. Yeah, we did touch on that one. To give you a bit of context, we are up to the 8 o'clock questions. So I am struggling. We might go through to 9:15, but yeah, unfortunately it is hard to get to everyone. Mac, hey, Shorty, love the vids, mate. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Thoughts on Harvey Langford and Cornelia? Didn't watch much of the D's game, so not sure what went wrong. And I'm holding Cornelia because he's due for a tiny bit of cash. Yeah, look, just didn't quite have that predominant role in there, did Langford. I'd probably move on both of them eventually. Look, take that little cash grab from Cornelio if you like, but Langford, his numbers were, 19% in the centre bounce. That's quite concerning. So I think what we needed to see from Langford was serious inside mid-time, and he's not getting it. So we can probably move on him there, I reckon. Baggers, hello, short. Thoughts on the government-enforced ID? Jesus Christ. Oh, we'll stick to the SuperCoach, my dudes. G Money. Also, sorry, got to ask, where's your rank at after round one? Oh, mate, you would have seen it if you saw the video, mate. It's 49,000, all right. Just staying consistent with my round one efforts. Carl, here we go. Shorty, Inns work in, and it is a boulevard of broken dream areas. Errol was here for a good time, not a long time. Big Bear, bustling, Lockie, Blackiston, underwhelming. A smidge on debut. Filippo sucked us in. Yeah, look, it's been a tough first up week, mate. I'm backing Filippo in. I'm backing him in. I reckon he will be still a solid option for us. It'll be a slow burn. He'll have to work through this little quad concern. Should be okay for this week or next. But I reckon the midfield time looked good. Let me just back that up because he passed the eye test in the first half. What was his? So he had 42% centre bounce, but bear in mind that is from half a game. So the first week he also had 42, and that was from a full game. Interesting. Naz was down. Windhager was the one who probably stepped up for Filippo. So, yeah, look, I'm going to back him in. Leroy, who was your captain this week, and do you suggest for the upcoming week? Yeah, look, I had Grundy, mate. It was Grundy or Butters, and I was probably going to struggle on both. This week I'm thinking I could VC Grundy, also could go Tim English against McAndrew, and I think Butters is a clear-cut captain option against the Bombers. I think he could go 150 plus this week. I have you in round 4. We'll see if you have fixed your team to beat the Testicles. Good, mate. I'll be keeping an eye on that one. Hopefully I've got my team on order by then. Tommy, the problem with McKercher is that he played his role at half forward very well. Yeah, true. Like, probably didn't help our cause that he played reasonable when he was out there in a role that we hate. But, yeah, look, odds are I think it's almost a certainty that I'll get rid of him after this week. But I just want to be sure, just want to be sure. Luke, McKercher to Parker, I'm thinking I like it, or Fonte. See, I prefer Fonte over Parker. I just don't see the Parker. Like, he's 476. Like, is he going to be a keeper? I'd be stunned, absolutely stunned if he was a keeper. Andrew, who is, I feel like there was more to that. King, no trades for me this week as I'm ranked in the top 8K. Nice, mate. Look, no trades is a good thing. You've obviously dodged Goulden. That's fine. Jacob Miller is the distributor the Crom have been calling for. So if the role is there this week, I think it's a must-have. Should be a top 8 averaging defender. That's a huge call, I reckon. Huge call on the top 8. Look, yeah, I'd give him another week. Look, if he comes out and goes bang again, all right, you might have me listening, but geez, I can't trust it. I really cannot trust it. Serge, should I be keeping both Rosie and Butters or look to shift one of them? Absolutely hold both. Hold both for sure, mate. They'll treat you fine. The goal kicking comp in Melbourne. I know, mate. Look, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Look, I was half thinking about it over the holidays, and I was just like, it's so hard to organise these things. Maybe one day, mate. Maybe one day. Yanni, hey, Shorty, is it fine to wait on people like Cook and Murdoch just to see one more week and they don't make money yet? Yeah, absolutely. More than welcome to wait. I'll be waiting. Just to see, because these guys are rookies. They're inconsistent, like, I mean, you might have said a week ago, gee, Selwood going to be a solid option. Comes out and scores 38. So, yeah, definitely happy to wait. I'll be giving him a second look and just, making my decision from them. But, if you're giving him a second look, make sure you don't have too many things lagging over to next week. You don't want to be left with like, I just want to see all 5 of these guys have a second week. Oh, shit, I've got to get rid of all 5. Can't do that. So make sure you plan it out. Magpies, if I do one trade, just Goulden, can literally get any player under 670. Got to go a big premium, or someone like a Newcomb or Taranto have a pod and keep cash. Nah, when you're dealing with 670, I wouldn't be shopping in the Newcomb and Taranto aisle. I would go a seriously good option. Look, get a Callahan, whether it's a Sarong. If you want pod, Max Holmes, mate, wear the buy this week. But if you want a pod, wear that buy and just go bang. Baggers, Sarong, no good for me. All of his points in the 4th was on 70 at 3/4 time. Interesting. There'd be a massive amount wanting him if it was just 115. Doubt it. That's a really good point, mate, actually. It's a really good point because I must admit I faded on him not long ago, like during the preseason. You've got me thinking now, mate. You've got me because, let me just plug my charger in, guys. Because I do hate that, everyone's going to chuck him in. And I still think like he's a real tag risk, Like I'm still not sure if he holds up to that. And he did hurt a lot of us last year. Let's not forget. As I try and jangle about 14 chords here, guys. But try and not knock me water over. Still haven't packed for camp either, guys. So, I actually, that's got me thinking hardcore because I sort of hate just bringing in Sarong off a 150 and everyone's going to have him. Oh, man. I could just go bloody rogue and go Max Holmes, to be honest. Wouldn't that be rogue, bringing in 2 guys that have the buy? That would be rogue. 600K maxi boy. Things to ponder. Daniel, mark this in your book now and come back to at the end of the season. I'm telling you all now, Max. There you go. Shit, bro. Fuck it. I'm doing it. Bang. I'm going Max Holmes. It's the Holmes horseshoe, mate. When he gets it in the middle and horseshoes out, I'm telling you, David King will be talking about it on bloody first crack one day. The Holmes horseshoe. You heard it here first, guy. But you guys have convinced me. Magpies, any idea of Swans mids that will go in for Goulden and Heaney? Don't mind Rowbottom, but probably more draft. I think Sheldrick's the guy. I think Sheldrick would be the one. Not sure how much mid-time Callum Mills played, but I wonder if they'd chuck him in there. He seems a bit more settled in the back line. But, I don't know if Caden Cleary could come in. I'm not really sure. I'm not as across some of the Sydney mids. But, I wonder if I think Sheldrick's probably the main one. SuperCoach Dog, I started Fonte and wouldn't be trading him in. Okay, interesting. Can you elaborate? So you started him, so you're obviously happy. Why wouldn't you be trading him in? Like, give me your thoughts. I'm with you, but Sage, should I keep? Oh, yeah, we did answer that. Jake, what do you think of 6,900K or 60,000? Do I get rid of Philpo to Murdoch for 130 or get rid of Parrish for Houston or Coleman? Or Coleman, I want Jackson to my side. I'd be getting rid of Coleman out of those two, but are you talking about getting him in? Murdoch, look, of what you've presented, I'd probably go Parrish to Houston, but Parrish scored all right. So I wouldn't be getting rid of Philippo, but I'd also be making plans for how you can bring in Murdoch if he does back it up. So I probably haven't really answered that there, but I would prioritise getting in Houston. I think that's more of the real product that we're looking at. Wait and see on Murdoch. He could score a 50. He could score 85, and he's going to be one of our best cash cows. Let's wait and see. Volcom, Goulden to Fonte, 300K in the bank for Bont after the buy. Look, if it's going to enable you to get Bont, I kind of see your reason. I just don't see Fonte making enough cash to warrant it. But when you go that far down, okay, getting in Bont does sweeten that deal. A Rashad. I'm not quite following you here, Andrew. Andy Brayshaw. Now I'm following you. Yes, I'm with you there. Look, had a shocker. Very unlike him. He's normally very consistent. Don't trade him out. He just had a stinker of a day, so he'll be better. So short, how have the showers been going? I was pondering in the tub in the dark with a bottle of tropical cordial. I poured it over my head, and it was like I was in Hawaii. Bro. Nah, look, we love a good dark shower, mate. There's nothing like having a little shower and just turning the lights off. It's a real sensory experience. So thanks for asking. SuperCoach Dog, would you trade Coleman to Murdoch this week to allow for carnage if it occurs next week, or just wait and see another week? Yeah, look, for Coleman, I probably would, particularly if you're anticipating a bit of carnage next week with a lot of things you might need to attend to, because I think we've found out with Coleman it's not going to happen at this point. So, yeah, I would entertain it under that scenario. Luke, trade Naz Shorty. Come on, should be gone already. He's obviously carrying something. Look, do you reckon he's carrying something, or just really struggling with the tag? Like, maybe a bit of both. Who knows? But, yeah, I must admit I'm leaning towards trading him to Houston, getting a bit of a bank of cash to upgrade quickly and rapidly. But, it's been on my mind, I tell you. Peter Baggers Miller is the chosen one. You must pick. I'm sold. Trust the tub, the pondering tub. Oh, mate. How have you been? Are you back playing footy, Baggers? You got round one coming up, or you played? What's going on? Mac, I backed Worrell over Kirch for a pod, and he's looking good, mate. Well played. Well played. That's a great call. Yeah, I'll go Worrell over Miller as well, although I think he's far more reliable. Good call, Driz. Luke, Parker and Miller could be the biggest traps or the biggest money makers. Take a risk, Shorty, I reckon. Well, yeah, I feel like taking a risk is going Houston. I feel like that's a risk. I feel like dropping Naz is a risk. I do not want to take a risk on going Luke Parker. I mean, and Wayne Miller, like, this guy is injury prone as all shit, you know. Look, and yeah, he might be that rebounder, but I can't see him keeping that up. Luke Parker's 33. I mean, yeah, he's a bits and pieces player for the Roos as far as I'm concerned now. I don't think he's going to stay in any role for all too long. Where are we up to? Jesus Christ. We're not going to get through any questions. This sucks, bro. Fuck. Oh, guys. I'm sorry. We'll try and get through as many as we can. But look, hopefully the general discussion has you answering some of your own questions. But, gosh, it's hard to get through all the questions. I do apologize. Ray scored 2,412. Nice. Archie Roberts. Wow, nice. And I have Deb Robin Murdoch on the bench. It's a bloody good score considering all that. Nicely done, mate. We did answer that one. Las Pistolos. Going Goulden right down to the Magic Man from West Milan. Thinking Kitty to Fontempelli as well. Thoughts? Yeah, look, I think that's a good call on Kitty. The big downgrade, hey. Fair enough. He's got some cash then. I guess that's allowing the Coleman a bond. Nice, mate. I know. Sorry, mate. It will be back. It will be. Just not yet. Lachlan, hey, Shorty, join your draft. Thanks for taking it well. Thoughts on trading out McKercher for Ash and downgrading Goulden for Murdoch in the bank to get Bont after the bye? I don't mind the planning for getting in Bont after the bye. I don't mind that. I would be more inclined to hold on McKercher, not only because just to see on him, but I feel like Ash had a really poor first up week, so he's got to have a break even of over 150, wouldn't he? Where's his break even? No, it's 125. Fair enough. Yeah, look, you probably could do that. That's probably fair. Logan, should I? Oh, yeah, we did get to that. Good luck, mate. Good luck. Keep us updated. I'm chucking the VC on Whitfield. Shaky start for him, but you can always back half-backers against the Saints and Ross line for, yeah. Back him in. Back him in. He'll respond. He'll respond for sure. BMP, Shorty, do you reckon I go from Goulden and Filippo to Sarong and Cook, or to Rankin and Murdoch? I would feel more comfortable with Sarong, mate. I just want to get a bit of a look at Rankin. Where does he fit in? What's his midfield forward split? That's the way I'd be going, yeah. Bag is short. I don't love you back. Stay away, you monster. Oh, bro, that's sad, my guy. Harry, hey, Shorty. Stupidly, I don't have Tanner in my team. I'm so slow. Is it worth the trade considering how much cash we're going to get? Absolutely. So Bruins a must-have. Got to get him in. Make sure you find a way to, for sure. Stuart, getting rid of... Oh, mate, bro's in a time machine. Jack, Archie Roberts' thoughts. I would just give him a second week. It all looked awful for Essendon on Friday. Give him one more week. If it still looks bad, have a get-out plan. But, yeah, give him one more. Oh, bags. Freddie, 50-50 split on the Naz trade or hold. I haven't had him all season, but my rule is don't trade primos. I know, that's my rule too. But I'm just nervous on it, man. Gosh, crazy fit. Naz don't have the role anymore. Probably just trade him if you can get a good replacement. Sinclair, yeah, true. Thanks, mate. Look, I do have Sinclair. I'm worried that, I've got top dollar guy for a great rebounding defender that's just struggling with this mid role. I reckon maybe if he just works through this over the next month or so, bring him in way cheaper. I'm just wondering what's going to hurt more, trading him, having Houston, Naz scores 150, or holding him, sticking to that, and he just keeps getting tagged, and then has the buy. I don't know. I waited with LDU for a long, long time. I mean, Naz is probably unlucky that I'm going to ditch him. Ian, hi, Shorty. I've got Riccardi pod. Your thoughts, thanks. Look, I'm not really on board the Riccardi. Look, he's getting a bit of extra ruck time, which is positive for him. I'm personally not sold on it. Look, he's got that dual position. He's scoring nicely. If you've started him, good on you. Well played. I wouldn't be looking to bring him in, though. Baggers, I like Windhager as a pod. Mid-roll looks tasty. Only time he's moving inside is to tag. That's tackles and can still find it. Yeah. Look, he's been really good. He's been really consistent. Probably one of them. Well, he's kind of a mid-pricer, isn't he? Higher end, but probably been one of the ones that actually did deliver. Thoughts on CJ, Luke? Nah, not for me. Look, he's going to have his moments, but I would prefer others. Mate. Daniel Fonte goes 90-plus easy until round 10. And have a look at his run. It's crazy 6 weeks. And for his role, I'm very bullish. Wow. All right. I respect your thoughts, mate. Look, I can't say I'm going to do it. What was his role on the weekend? Because I saw opening round and he was impressive. Are we talking like sort of intercept marker, sort of third tall kind of operator? Because he's obviously not a dasher like Whitfield and Ash. But Big John, just toss a coin, mate, then do the opposite of what it says. Oh, shit, Logan. Naz is a big trap right now for the price. Contested footy in mid-minutes cuts his possessions down a lot. Oh, yeah, we're getting such 50-50 vibes, aren't we? Jacob, hold Whitfield, mate. Absolutely hold him for sure. Freddie never will trade in Houston again. Had him last year. Oh, geez. Like the LDU. Yeah, mate. Sometimes that does matter, doesn't it? If you've been scarred once, it is hard to go back. Baggers, I've been out the game for a while, but here we go. Jeff, you are a scholar and a great man. Shorty will drop you off a six-pack and do the travel with these fuel prices. Cheers, baggers. He will really like that. And tell you what he really love, the fact that you put in both Jeffs. He is Jeff with a G, but he'll appreciate that research, mate. Karen, what's going on? Hall looked really good. Great sort of dynamic player for the Saints. Not one that I'd be bringing in for SuperCoach. I think he's going to be a bit up and down by the nature of his role. Magpie, Shorty, you asked before for our thoughts on Houston. Thank you, mate. As a Pies fan, this is what I like. I like getting the supporters' thoughts. There is definitely a bit more intent to get the footy in his hands and will 100% have a better year than last year. Look at Schultz. Yeah, good point. Because he definitely struggled with making that transition, didn't he? No, thank you, mate. Because I felt that too. Like, I felt like you just see them running by the man who takes the mark and getting the receive a bit more often. I was seeing that as well. So, no, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. What do we got here from Mash? Shorty, why are you jealous of Fontzilla? Here's the next big thing, and you are judging him with that shit haircut of yours. You're a bloody clown, mate. Anthony, is Euland a trade? I actually haven't really looked at Euland's because I didn't start him. I haven't really looked at him. I would imagine so. If I haven't heard anything of him, it means he hasn't been doing amazing. I know he started poorly against the Cats. Oh, my Lord, a 23. What? Yeah. yeah, I'd be looking at offloading him to one of the rookie guys we've been talking about. Magpies, just on Houston. First year for us was shocking, and last year, second year at the club, was one of our best and been added to the leadership group. So same for Houston. Just wait for more to play a game. As last year. As last year, Moore took a very large chunk of kickouts, and this is where Houston gathers a lot of points. Sorry for long. No, that does help, mate. Thank you. And look, I'm probably not. I suppose, yeah, the kickouts do help, but I'm hoping that if they've got faith in Houston, because if they want to use a good ball user, Houston's better kick them more. So, look, the more I think about it, pun intended, I think I'm leaning towards Houston. Leroy, this could sadly be the end of Shorty and Kirch's relationship. I know. Gee, we're running hot over the preseason, mate. Absolute summer fling. And he's just burnt me. Should I? Oh, yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. Chat's gone. Short chat's gone. Is that when I flick it off? Geez, that shows how far behind we truly are, doesn't it? Keep Cogs, Big John, keep Cogs 1 with 2 more weeks. We'll make money guaranteed next week. Fair enough. Look, I think, yeah, he's definitely on the out coming up, but just a matter of when you do it. My life is 2K. Is Archie Roberts worth a chance or is 100% trade? I'd give him a second week, give the bloke a chance, but the role didn't look great. Wasn't what we wanted. So likely a trade out, but I'd give him a second go. Logan, sorry about the spam, bro. I thought I was behind and getting skipped. Very, very sorry. No, all good, mate. All good. It does happen. It does happen, mate. Oh, mate. The mate. Which mate was that? Was that Jack or Jonah? Bays, long one size in advance. That's all right, mate. Where are we? Got Goulden, but don't rate any primos. Do I go Murdoch or other mid? I need his Bruin, but has a buy. I have no other mids to trade out and no mid loop. So how can I get both? Well, I'd bring in Bruin now. Look, cop the buy. He's a must-have. You might have other things to do next week. I have no other mids to trade out and no mid loops. So how can I get both? I would deal with what's in front of us. Bruin's a good pick. Get him in now. See what Murdoch does. If he scores 40, you might be like, maybe I don't need him. If he scores 80, then you might have to be like, shit, I'm going to have a look at things. But at the moment, I'd be going Goulden to Bruin. And I know he's got the buy, but we should be able to cover that pretty comfortably. And then deal with what we get from Murdoch. And that might be a bit of a next week question. Carl, surely we keep our powder dry and give Blackiston, Lindsay and Co at least another week to give us a score and then reassess. Could you condone holding Goulden 1 week and then trying to grab someone off a buy? Or do you want his cash sweating for you elsewhere and jumping on some non-buy operators? Now, good questions, mate. And definitely, I said off the top, give Windsor, Blackiston, Roberts, McKercher a second week. I mean, definitely Blackiston and Windsor because the role was actually there. You could mount a case for McKercher. The role was shit, so you could get rid of him. So if I'm looking at my team, best 18 scorers, I currently have 23 blokes that'll score. So covering these buys is pretty straightforward. So bringing in a guy on the buy, I think you can definitely do it. If you like it more than others, go for it, mate. So, yeah, I wouldn't hold Goulden because I think we know he's going to go. So get rid of him because you might need the trades next week and you don't want to be like, I wish I didn't I should have got rid of Goulden. Now I've got to use a trade boost. If it's avoidable, let's deal with Goulden this week and then see what comes. Oh, and what's your thoughts on Toby Green, Archie Roberts? Also got cooked by Grundy last week. Yeah, frustrating. Look, Green, bit more expensive, isn't he? And he has played 2 games, so I'd move on him. He's played the 2, hasn't been it, so I'd trade. Give Roberts 1 more. Mac, like what I saw from Tom McCarthy, despite 80 points, a limited time on ground with that little injury. With a full stint, I reckon he goes massive. No, I didn't see much of this game. Did he play a little bit half-back as well? Because I didn't even realise he copped a bit of an injury. What were the centre bounce numbers? McCarthy, 35%. So, yeah, interesting. Not quite the midfield role that maybe we anticipated. Yep, we did touch on that, didn't we? Flagcock, is it worth going down to Bruin after his buy from Roberts or sideways to Houston? I'd make Bruin the priority for sure. Yeah, I think Fonte might be. He could be worth a poll, mate. Tiger Rahewald, thoughts on Ollie Florent as a pod? I went start of the year. Looks decent off half back, but hasn't turned up yet, sadly. No, look, I wouldn't be going with him. You'd want to have seen a bit more in the scoring front, and 327, it's just awkward as. Not for me. Luke, should I side trade McKercher for Houston? I would give it one more week, largely because Houston has the bye. No rush. But if you feel like you've got a lot of trades stacking up next week, then yeah, fair enough, because McKercher's role was pretty poor. I'm giving him one more week, but the role did look terribly. Vegas could use this on Caitlin if she's still knocking around. Use high-quality photos with good lighting, including one clear face shot. She is still around, mate. Confident bio with a hint of humour. Show hobbies and lifestyle. Stay active on the apps. You're a bloody character, mate. We're going to keep it pretty SuperCoach because I am a bit behind on the comments and questions. We're up to 8:21, my guys. So we might get a little bit closer by the time we get to 9:15 to give everyone a bit of love, and then we'll go through some questions that we haven't seen their names yet. Just after 9. Beast mode. I started Fonte, gone and his buy for me. Fair enough. Well, that's interesting. I think if you started him, well played. But for those trading him in, I'm not so sure. Luke, I honestly think Baggers is right when a player like Miller plays like that in a win. The coaches will do their best to repeat his output, meaning the ball in his hands. Look, I could be sitting here next week and he may have gone huge again, and I'll be like, wow, you're onto something. But gosh, I'd want to see it again. I mean, this is a bloke who's had a tease of a career, hasn't he? He's really been like just a guy that we've felt could do this, but never has. Maybe he's arrived, but I would like to see it another time. We're just going to keep that one a bit clean. Base Linker, follow up from my last Gordon question. Would have to trade Dyson Sharp to Jack Carroll to either Murdoch or Bruin next week. Not sure about this, though. Would appreciate the thoughts. Can't remember the initial trade with Gordon, but yeah, definitely make Bruin a priority. Murdoch's still up in the air. He'll probably be a good one, but definitely prioritize Bruin. Yeah, keep TDK, Jack. If you've started him, which you clearly have, you keep him. He had a tough day against Gorney. Gorn's going to do that to some players. Definitely hold. Luke, or we keep him for our self-baggers. I think these boys having a nice little separate combo. Gavin, when's a good time to get Naz? I mean, definitely post-buy. That's obvious, but I would base it purely on break-evens. When his break-evens probably getting around 90 or 100, let's go with it. But, yeah, I would imagine we're a strong chance to get him maybe anywhere from the 510, 530, maybe even 500, depending how long this struggle goes for. As much as I love talking about Brad's pipes, we're just going to go to SuperCoach questions. It's early in the year. I've got to pump some of these SuperCoach questions, mate. Sorry. BMP. Oh, yeah, he's back in the Miller as well. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, hold Naz or ship him off. Look, the more I've thought about it, the more I've gone ship him off. And it goes against my keep premiums rule. I almost exclusively stick to that. So much so you nearly keep Luke Davis-Uniacke all year. But, yeah, I think the time's now. We got to make a call on Naz before his price absolutely plummets, and I think I'm going to move on him. Freddie, I started Bont and made him VC. Great call. Great call, mate. Yeah, I think Butters will have a massive one, mate. Magpies, thoughts on Gordon to Parrish and have 350 in the bank. They would have two options, rookie straight to Houston or save it and bring in Bond after his buy. Look, I like the structure. You know my thoughts on Parrish. I'm not a big fan, but the structure's good on that one. Baggers, Fonte has high marks as well, short, good interceptions, has great vertical, and is a safe and penetrating kick. Interesting. Look, you've obviously watched him a bit closer than me. I am probably not going to go with him just because I don't think he's quite cheap enough and I don't have the faith in him. But you guys could be all over it. You could be onto it before me. Wouldn't be the first time. Luke, I missed out on Young and had Pickett. I'm thinking go Pickett to Young, then have enough for Bont next week. Thoughts? Do I need Goulden out now for Sarong or both? I would probably go Goulden out this week, and I probably would go Pickett to Young. Look, it's a tough one. Like Pickett, one of my favourite preseason picks, and then he's just had a bit of this off-field stuff, which I don't know where it's going to leave him. Look, yeah, I think if that's enough to get Bont, then I think I probably would do it. Going Bont to Naz, or probably Naz to Bont, I would imagine you mean, I assume. We're definitely bringing in Bont, I would imagine. Kai, should I trade Jai Sarong to Murdoch? No, Jai Sarong's looking good. I don't think we want to offload a good rookie for a good rookie. You know, like I think let's see what Murdoch does, but let's not move on Sarong just yet. Naz to Bont or hold. Okay, I'm with you. I'd be going Bont, mate. Missed those streams. I apologise for short trading. Can we swap to Wednesday, April 28th? Oh, trading. Yeah, mate. No, fair. Look, the lives will return to Wednesday after this. It's just because I've had the camps, mate. Can Holmes break a tag? Look, he's struggled with it, but he's actually got a lot better at it. And I think what helps is we've got Bailey Smith as well. And different, like Naz, when he was trying to break the tag, he's gone forward. Holmes just goes to half back. There was a game where he was getting tagged against St Kilda. I think it was round 2 last year. I think it was on about 16 at half time. Ended up on 89. They moved into half back and they just fed him the footy. Kick out, handball receive, 1-2s. And players get better at handling tags. They do. Look, I'm not going to say Holmes is one of the best guys to break a tag, but I don't think he's someone that has no plan of attack. Like he goes to half back and he goes, all right. Magpies, if I go Goulden to Houston this week, can cover Houston fine. We'd have 240 in the bank. Best way to get bombed. Perfect, mate. I like it. Yeah, I can cover him as well, so I think that's cool. Tommy, the GOAT George Wardlaw is available for selection this week. Well, imagine if he came straight into the seniors. I highly doubt it, but could he just go into the midfield and let McKercher go back? Oh, imagine. Mac, I've fallen for too many mid-prices in previous years, starting the year hot and then looking trash straight after, so Fonty's a no for me. Yeah, fair play. Very hard. As we've already seen with a few of our mid-prices already, they're hard to find. Aiden, Tom Lynch's set shot kicking might be worse than Shorty's SuperCoach form. Jesus, God. I actually feel all right about my team. I'm actually not concerned at all about the round 1 ranking. I feel I've had some rounds where I've been in all sorts in previous years. I'm still feeling okay. Reckon they're pretty similar, Aiden, but I'll give it to you. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Zachy, boy. He loves Zachy, this man. He absolutely loves him. Luke, come on, Shorty, 49,000. Not good enough. Need more from you. Take risks. Hey, mate, we're winning the SuperCoach Cup. We're winning that $1,000. Take it to the bank, guys. Probably won't do thoughts on Young and Budrick to Bont and Cook. Could still do next week. Oh no, I think we're moving too soon on Budrick and Young there, mate. I'm a hold there. I'm a hold, mate. Luke, are you backing McKercher short? Oh, backing's a strong word. Am I keeping him for one more week? Yes. Do I think I'll trade him out afterwards? Probably, but I am going to give him one more to prove himself. Sedge, keep both Butters and Rosie. Oh yeah, we got to that one, didn't we? I feel like you have to now. Flying Keys, tell him Luke PS proud and rare Fonty start over here. Yeah, well played. Very well played, mate. Got to respect that. Yeah, give us a poem, mate. Look, I might read it off in the background, but I am going to be on Fonty watch over the weekend, mate, because I'm not going to say I'm totally against him, but I'm not buying him. So it'll be very, very interesting to see. Eddie, g'day, Shorty. Ed Richards or Heaney, you reckon? Definitely Ed Richards. Heaney's got a little bit of a hamstring concern, and I probably prefer Richards anyway. Hey, Shorty, how about Fonty tons up this week? You have to get a haircut Cut at a place and time of my choosing. I don't mind that, actually. Yeah, all right. You can choose where I'll have a haircut, bro. I'll put that bet on. Yeah, okay. What are you going to do, though? What if he doesn't? What if he goes 90, less than 90? What are you going to do? Gould and Selwood to Parrish and Houston can cover buys. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I reckon you're locked in there. Aiden, I'm sticking thick with my killer pod 47 school Brayshaw. You got it, mate. You got to stick with him. I know it was a stinker of a week on the weekend, but you do got to stick with him. Ready? Cheers, Shorty. Have a good one. Good luck this week. You will need it in Not So Soon. I know, mate. I need to bounce back, bro. I need to bounce back. Thank you, mate. I cut out when you answered my question. Can you answer again, please? Oh, yeah, hold. Absolute hold, mate. Hold those guys for sure. Luke Merritt, any thoughts? Yeah, pretty solid. The only downside I would say is just that uncertainty around back end of the year. Where is he going? Is his heart fully in it? We saw it go negatively for De Koning and Petrarca. We've seen other players not bothered by it at all. So that'd be my only thing. But look, scoring, we know he can score. Yeah, you could trade him. Look, I don't think he's going to get a stack of opportunities. So he's one of those more expensive rookies. So I could definitely understand trading him. Aiden Shorty, what are your top 10 lampshades? This is like a round 16 sort of question. You know, this is a later in the year one, but I do respect it. Hugh, hey, Shorty, legend mate. How are you, mate? What's your thoughts on Cherry? Scored okay, but kind of regret picking him and not spreading the cash around on field. Yeah, look, my thoughts are pretty similar with the rucks as they were pre-season. I think we're still going to get good ruck scores. I don't think they'll fall off a cliff, but I don't know if we'll have as many of those big 150 pluses from him. But Cherry looked great. He probably looked better than I thought. So I think you'll be happy you got him. But yeah, he is expensive. Driz, why don't you trade Naz for Sinclair? Well, I do already have Sinclair, which is sort of the tricky bit there, mate. Oh, he's playing for Carnham. Got to get bags in the mid-rotation. Yeah, I like it, mate. I hope to get that booming boot feeding your forwards. There's not many. Just skip some of mine if needed. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. I do love your comments, mate. They crack me up, but I'm always mindful of trying to, get those prime SuperCoach questions out of the way as well. Luke, actually, that's fair judgment on Miller and Parker. Fair enough. Shaz, hey, Shorty, currently have English R1 and Vicentini R2, McAndrew in the flex. Thoughts on trading Vicentini to Cook and Walsh to Bolt or just hold? I definitely think Vicentini's one to move on. And I think Cook could be a good rookie. Let's wait and see what he does this week. But yeah, I wouldn't be jumping off Walsh yet. Look, he's been okay. I mean, I'm not a huge Walsh fan. I wasn't on board in pre-season, but look, he's pumped out a 114 and a 96. Nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, give him time. I know we want to get Bont in. We got to rush into that, but maybe get Bont after his buy, maybe. Is it worthwhile trading him for Murdoch and Robinson or picking one of them, looking to get rid of Kitty and Filippo? Yeah, I'd move on Coleman. I'd probably go the Coleman one this week and then assess. I think Robinson we can pick with confidence. Just want to see a second look at Murdoch. I reckon. Driz, probably an unpopular opinion, but I'm keeping Tanner Bruin all year. Love how the guy plays. Fair enough, mate. Look, I think he'll probably end up getting defensive status. Doubt he'll be a keeper, but I love your approach, mate. I hope he makes us plenty of cash. McInerney, I'm not sold that he's going to be a top 8 forward. Certainly started really well. Maybe if the Swans keep winning a fair bit of footy, he might be the beneficiary, bit of an outsider type. But yeah, I'm probably a no for him. I just don't think he's cheap enough, and I don't have the confidence he's a keeper. Sure, you're around the 36-year-old accidentally chucked the filter winky face up. Oh, mate. Mate, I can't answer this in public, mate. Come on now. Studi. Won't be using any trades this week. I think I'll take your advice on board. If it goes wrong, I'll be holding you fully responsible. McCall will be held for at least one more. Yeah, look, we spend all pre-season. We come to a decision. Give it a second week. We're up to 8:46 actually on the question, so we're making a mini comeback here. But Tommy, how good did LDU look out of centre, mate? Absolutely fantastic. Isn't LDU weird? He just seems to play amazing and not score well. I was watching the game. I'm like, this guy's best on ground. Didn't he only score like 104? Confusing. Any sneaky draft picks? Well, I just snapped up Sheldrick. So have a look if he's available in there. I think he'll benefit without Goulden. Luke, bro, I swear Fonty didn't take any kickouts. What's the hype? No, he didn't. More of an interceptor from what they tell me. But yeah, no, I'm not grabbing him. Curtis, do you back Grundy or is Jackson a better option? Back Grundy in for sure. I reckon we'll want Jackson at some stage, but there's no reason that those scores don't reverse. And Grundy gets 140 this week. Jackson scores 90. It could easily happen. So let's not jump off the back of 1 week. Lachlan, Ross and Cook, and Ross as a pod in the forward line for Goulden and Gallup, and had 2,414 first round. Well played, mate. And how are the Cats going to go at Knackery this week? A bit downward turn. Watch the Richo tribute team, which is, I think we've lost a bit of that comment. Ross, are we talking Jack Ross? Is this who we're talking here? That's wild scenes. Had a bit of mid-time. Look, I can't get on board with you there, but look, the Cats will be all right, mate. The Cats will be okay. I do think they might slip a little bit. I don't think they'll be top 4 this year, but back them in, mate. Back them in. They'll be all right. Giving TV show references here, mate. Okay, he's got recommendations. Cooper, thoughts on Naz down to Worrell? Jesus loves you, bro. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. I think he's a pretty solid option for sure, mate. Looked very assured. Had a ripper first quarter. Andy, how are you, Shorty? I'm good, thank you, mate. Yourself? Is it a waste of a trade to go Whitfield to Sinclair or Grundy to Jackson? Yes, yeah, it would. Hold those guys. Look, I'm having my existential crisis with Wanganeen Miller, but I feel like that's a bit more complex. Whitfield, Grundy, just slightly poorer weeks. Keep them, mate. Absolutely keep them. Are you thinking of keeping some positional balance in my SuperCoach team? Probably going Barras. Need to keep... Jesus Christ. Oh, you had me there for a sec, mate. Grab Mullen for your tagger, mate. Makes buys hard. Yeah, he loves a tag, doesn't he? Alex, should I go Blackstone to Fonty? I wouldn't. I don't think he's that much of a must-have, so I would give Blackstone a second week. Levi, what's the move with Archie Roberts? Probably holding for now, but long-term, what's the play? Look, you just give him 2 weeks. I think hold, like you say, but if it hasn't happened next week, then there's no point holding any further. He's probably going to drop in price. Probably time to pick up some other guys before they go up in price. So, yeah, 1 week, then we'll make the call. Hey, Hippo, what's going on? Is Hippo, Hypo? Who even knows? Hi, Shorty, scored 2,100. Thinking about deleting SuperCoach and maybe Life. Any advice? Jeez, don't delete Life, mate. Tell you what, maybe we need a collab, mate. Catch up, research some stuff. Maybe we need to get that video going, mate. That might be the play. No, mate, not going anywhere near that comment, mate. Harry, Shorty, great to have footy back. Absolutely. LDU pumped out his first stun on the weekend. Didn't want to start him again. I know, mate. I waited bloody weeks for him to do that last year. Couldn't have done it for me at any stage, but whatever, mate. He actually looked insane, didn't he? I went Richards to Bont. No, Crusader. We can't be trading out Ed Richards, mate. Come on now. We can't be doing that. Jamie, Worrell would be my pick over Miller. Agreed. I'm right with you there. Logan, thoughts on Rochelle, mate? I have Butterick and Flanders, so don't see me needing him, but is he definitely interesting. Yeah, what did he score? Because I must admit he hasn't caught my eye. But the reason you mentioned, I assume he went okay. 88, 24 touches. Let's check some centre bounce numbers. 52. Yeah, not one that I'm going out of my way to get, but he was reasonably serviceable. But, yeah, not one to grab, I don't think. Mick Sleazy, any news on Philippo and Marshall? Yeah, both fine. Maybe missed this week, but I think Marshall's definitely been cleared. Philippo is a test. Oh, amusement. What's going on, mate? Harry, what do you make of Hypo's videos? One of the more serious players I've seen. Yeah, I watched a few in the preseason. I haven't caught up with his recent ones, but no, he was actually, I don't know if everyone does, but he using that Footy Scores website. Mate, I hadn't seen it. I was loving it. So thank you to him, mate. He was the one who bloody introduced me to that. Here he is. Come on, Harry, mate. I'm not that serious. Ray, you are pretty serious when you pull the boys are getting a little rowdy over here. Space, what are the chances of McCurch getting the role we thought he would? I'd say strong at some stage in the year, but this week, probably slim. Wardlaw coming back could help, but I'm surely he comes through the VFL. But yeah, it was weird. Like, same thing happened last year. I just thought for sure they'd back him in off half-back immediately, but they didn't. Desi, thoughts on Blackstone to Fonte? I think the answer to that one, I'm a no on that. Oh, Mr. Drop Marks, fans also, I think, no. Mate, he's got his poems going. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Macca, thoughts on Zeke down to Selwood for cash? I wouldn't be going to Selwood. I think definitely find a way to move Zeke on, but Selwood's coming off 38. I wouldn't necessarily jump at him, mate. Flag Hog, hi, Shorty. Thank you for answering my question. No worries, mate. All good. I like to express my concern on the matter of having both English and Grundy. Do I trade one of them for a premium like Bont? Having McAndrew as a flex. Look, I've got the same, and I think they share a buy with two largely irrelevant SuperCoach teams. So Sydney share it with Hawthorn and Gold Coast. So I think aside from Petrarca, not too many Suns in our side. Some might have Anderson, and Hawthorn, not too many. So I'm comfortable having both. Should be all right, I reckon. Oh, who's going live? Who's going head to head? Come on now. Harry, thoughts on Bob Catter? just a loose bloke, mate. Absolute loose bloke. Well, it's 9:15, guys. We've got Lukey in the chat. Tell you what, we'll answer Luke, and then we might just go through a couple that I haven't seen yet. And then Shorty's got to pack for camp. And I've got to go buy myself a sandwich or make a sandwich for lunch tomorrow. I forgot about that. Fuck. Luke, g'day, Shorty. How are you? I'm good, mate. What did you make of the footy action of the weekend? What did you make of the Cats v Freo? Yeah, good comeback, mate. I must admit, first half, I was like, we are in all sorts here, but they've still got that ticket, don't they? They've still got that gut. You know they're going to come back. They've got that character. Yeah, definitely devastating. Look, I still think they'll be all right, the Swans, but it's a huge blow. Like, he adds just that outside ball use, run and carry. Like, he's such a great compliment to their midfield. So, it'll impact them big time, but I still think Sydney will be good enough to win reasonable amount of games. Ripper, what to do with Kitty and Goulden? Trade both this week or hold one for next week? I would trade both. I think both of those guys are trade outs this week. I don't think we've seen Cooper yet. Naz down to Worrell, or wait a week and go Naz down to Houston, even though Naz is going to go down 40K. Now, the time to move on Naz is this week. I reckon we've got a bit of coverage on the buy. So, like, I've got 23 playing. I'm probably bringing in Houston this week. The time to move on Naz is now. So you can't cop that hit. But, yeah, I think we can cover one buy guy. Tom Goulden to LDU. North has a great run coming up. I don't think I can legally comment on LDU, but in all seriousness, he did look very good. It's a gutsy call because he is a frustration, but I'm a bit scarred by that one. Liam, I'm going Goulden down to Fonte and Filippo to Murdoch. Would you recommend or no? I have a plan, but it does mean I have 350K. I like a man with a plan. I'm not on board the Fonte bandwagon. I think I'm potentially at risk of getting a random haircut if he does score 100. I just think I signed up to a pretty bad deal there, but I don't think he'll turn up this week. And I would also back in Filippo to still make us a bit of cash. Find a way to get in Murdoch another way. Maybe it's just Goulden down to Murdoch. Pretty risky, but it could be a cash play and give you some options soon. But, yeah, not sold on Fonte, but, hey, could be wrong. Been wrong before. Bordeaux, you reckon you're going to trade Kirch? Giving him one more week, definitely a strong chance to go if he fails me one more time. Just having looked through it, a few names we haven't got to. Cameron Shorty, mate, I'm top in the Open League. If you want to suss a beautiful Vicentini and McAndrew up, are you serious? You've got them as your number one rucks, and oh my goodness, this is wild. Suss my team if you want. I think I'm in a great spot with my team, or I will no trades. Well played, mate. That is an insane flex there. Well played, bro. PB, what have we got here? Shorty looking like Ivan Milat's long. Shit. Whoa, brutal, my dudes. Jordan, what's the news on Todd Marshall? He's been cleared, so not even on the injury report. So should hopefully be fine for this week. Maybe a rest, we'll see. But that's really, really positive. Your boy, Nasai Wagner Miller and Goulden to Bont and Sicily. Side trade thoughts. Look, I don't mind it. I'm not 100% on Sicily, but he has looked quite good. So, yeah, fair call. I think that's pretty reasonable. Look, we might. Yeah, look, with Zeke, I'm not sure either, mate. If nothing's obvious, you might just have to ride the bumps. And look, he'll be better than what he has been. But if nothing presents, don't panic and get some random. You might just have to be patient and see what bubs up. But we'll finish with Lukey Boy, who always gives us plenty of good stuff. Luke, what do you make of the Saints, Shorty? Boy, they need to start winning games now. Otherwise, that's the point in getting – what's the point in getting all these new recruits if you don't perform? It could also cost Ross Lyon his job. Yeah, I felt like they had to get one of the first two. You know, probably similar teams around that bracket on the ladder. Collingwood maybe just above them, Melbourne just below them, and they've lost to both. I felt like they had to snare one. You're right, they've gone big, and they've talked a reasonably big game. I think they've got to find their form pretty damn quick or the heat's going to come. And I don't think they can find it against Brisbane. I think they'll struggle. And then what have they got? The Giants this week. So it's a tough next two. So it'd be very interesting to see. But pressure is going to mount on them pretty quick because I think people are getting a little impatient. I think with the recruiting and the money spent, I think people want to see some action now from the Saints. So very, very fair. Look, thanks heaps for your patience, guys. Thanks again for your questions and comments. It's always tricky trying to get through all of these ones at the start of the year, but we managed to get through the majority. And hopefully you've got a reasonable feel for what you're doing this week. I mean, it's more than I can say. I'm still weighing it up. But I'm about to upload a preview for Wednesday, or for this week. I'll put it on Wednesday. I'm away on camp, as you guys probably already know. But, yeah, just trying to get ahead of the game. So it won't be like normal. Normally I'll have access to the teams. But this is my last camp for probably the year, I'd say, unless they throw another one at me. But, yeah. Stay posted for YouTube Shorts or TikTok. I might be a sneaky chance to get a video out just quickly on camp and sort of get a bit of content out that way. But, yeah, anyway, have a good week, guys. Stay well. Let's see how old mate Fonty goes this week, hey? I'll chat to you guys later. Cheers.